Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I have some very bullish news to share with you all. Yes, I said bullish news. I know the price is in a corrective state. I know their fear and greed index is at a 10, but I got bullish news because I'm looking at the market macro level. First, I want to talk about my conversation on Twitter with Michael Arrington, who has a hedge fund called Arrington XRP Capital. He's the founder of TechCrunch, and what he's saying about the market and how he's looking at things. We're also going to talk about some big news around PayPal. They're going to launch their own stablecoin, guys. And then we have Andreessen Horowitz has raised $9 billion, and some of that is going to crypto. Now, remember, they were the guys who invested in Coinbase and made a lot of money, right? And then we have Dan Morehead with Pantera Capital. They are raising a lot of money too. So lots of bullish news to break down. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button. If you're new here, it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, this video is brought to you by Algorand, which is building the future of finance. Algorand is getting significant adoption. I mentioned Michael Arrington. He's one of the major investors who has put hundreds of millions of dollars to build out the Algorand ecosystem, along with Anthony Scaramucci. Borderless Capital launched a $500 million Algorand fund, and NFTs, CBDCs, and much more are being built on Algorand. So if you would like to learn more, please visit algorand.com. All right, guys. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is currently at a 10. Bitcoin sitting below 42,000, and it could go lower, honestly. It could go to 40 or below 40. But this is all happening in a bull market. This is not a bear market where we can say, okay, it is what it is. Yes, there's fear in the bear market, but this, my friends, is a bull market. And when you see extreme fear like this in a bull market, historically, that has been very bullish. And it's really a lot of the leverage trading being shook out. A lot of the capitulation needs to happen to the leverage traders, right? Those who are long and so forth. So I think this is a bullish sign. And I'm not the only one, guys. Michael Arrington tweeted this, same Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Now, just for context, for some of you who may not know who he is, he's a Silicon Valley legend. He founded TechCrunch. He, of course, founded Crunchbase, which is part of TechCrunch. Arrington Capital, which invests in a variety of cryptos. So he's not a maximalist or anything. For example, he owns Luna, XRP, Algorand. I mentioned they're invested in Algorand, and he was buying Bitcoin since 2014. He even pinned this on his profile here. So with that said, I asked them, Michael, are you buying the dip or selling? So he's a hedge fund. He's got a lot of money. They're doing a lot of big things. And he said, we buy, we sell. We're a hedge fund. But these signals are all extremely bullish. A lot of uncertainty this month, though. And he tweeted out a chart, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, of what he's looking at. And it shows we're at the levels we saw in May into June, where we had that corrective pattern. Let me pull it up here for you guys, just so you can see what I'm talking about. And you don't think I'm BSing you or anything like that. Let's see here. Let's jump to Coinbase View. So back in June, end of May into June, we had hit a bottom here, right? And we had a huge correction. Same type of sentiment existed. A lot of fear, people worrying, oh my God, it's over, blah, blah, blah. Then we proceeded to bounce upwards and continue to move upwards to new all-time highs. Now we are in a corrective state, and I believe this corrective state will bounce upwards to new all-time highs. I believe this bull market is not over. So on Michael's chart here, you can see we're at those same fear and greed, or fear levels, I should say. And he's looking at this as a bullish indicator. But he said there's going to be some rough times ahead, at least in the short term, not the long term, the short term, while all the leverage traders get shook out and so forth. So very interesting. And remember, I interviewed Michael on my channel about 7 months ago. So if you haven't seen that interview, be sure to check it out. I'll put a link in the description. So a very interesting signal there from him. And I know he's a straight shooter. He's not bullshitting. And I'm a big fan of his. have been for a long time, even before crypto, because I followed TechCrunch for a long time. So this is, I think, something we got to take into consideration. Now, I also did a poll today, and over 1,100 people participated. And I asked, are we in a bull market or a bear market? And majority said here, 54.9% said we are in a bull market, while 45.1% said we are in a bear market. So very, very interesting, my friends. And Benjamin Cohen of Into the Cryptoverse, he tweeted out the following chart, which I think is very insightful, showing we haven't hit that blow off top yet. He said Bitcoin is clearly following this logarithmic regression trend line over the macro scale with period above and below it. So you can see it's like not like the previous peaks. Now, that doesn't mean it has to repeat that way, but Bitcoin has the mathematical halving, built into its algorithm. Every 4 years, the supply gets reduced, and we're seeing significant adoption this time around with record-breaking institutional demand. Not to mention countries adopting Bitcoin and so forth. So this thing is not over yet, guys. I think we still got some ways to go here and to go to a blow-off top. The other aspect to this, and I was talking about leverage trading earlier, crypto traders reduce leverage, selling pressure subsides. Analysts expect cryptocurrencies to stabilize given signs of healthier market conditions. So this is what I'm talking about. The leverage has to be flushed out. And, they were still, even though the price had pulled back, there was still a lot of leverage. So I think we need to get back to the ground level and start over, so to speak. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not dropping to $10,000. Bitcoin's not dropping by 80%. It has dropped about 40% or so. So this is stuff we've seen historically, even in the 2017 bull market. And we saw the price drop by 38% multiple times. So these things are par for the course. We've seen them before. And using the other metrics and data, we know we're still in a bull market. So interesting. And what at this time, if you don't want to look at the price, that's probably a good thing, right? Don't look at the price. Just keep up to date with the news as far as who's making moves, who's investing, and so forth. And we just got to be patient and let this cycle play out, right? It's all market cycles. Let it play out. Let it do its thing, and then we'll see a bounce upwards. But regardless of all the price action, institutional corporates, smart money are making moves. Look at this news. Official. PayPal confirms to Bloomberg that it's exploring the creation of a stablecoin. Of course they are, guys. You're going to see a lot of stable coins, and that is the token economy, and a lot of folks trying to throw their hat in the ring. Will all stable coins survive? No, but PayPal and some of these major companies, and I've talked about it a lot. Like, for example, Amazon, if they were to create a Prime coin, it would be so easy because they have millions upon millions of customers. They have one of the largest customer database in the world and a huge brand recognition and affinity. And with the Prime service, if you were to reward people who are Prime members, that would work so well in their favor and give their company more value. Even Google could do that. So PayPal is making a move here. We saw they obviously adopted crypto by enabling crypto trading and wallet services and so forth, the ability to pay for merchants to pay and accept payments and so forth. So this is the next step in their move to get it as much of a land grab in this crypto market. Very bullish news, guys. All of this builds out the ecosystem, builds out more interoperability and more adoption of crypto. So it's all moving in the direction of building out this massive infrastructure for this new emerging asset class. Now, yesterday we talked about Mayor Eric Adams out of New York City and him being on CNBC talking about he'll take his paychecks in Bitcoin and to buy the dip and so forth. Well, today it was confirmed New York financial regulator hires a crypto expert to lead the crypto division. Do you see what is happening here? This is a local government of a city and a state, guys. And it started with Mayor Francis Suarez out of Miami, and he's leading. He has first mover advantage right now. He's leading the pack, so to speak. And we've seen Austin's mayor was also bullish on this, and Mayor Scott Conger out of Jackson, Tennessee, who I interviewed. He's also bullish. I'm trying to get an interview with Mayor Eric Adams so we can talk about this. But guys, the dominoes are falling. Game theory is playing out here. Now, look at this. Andreessen Horowitz, powerhouse. If you don't know who they are, please go research. These are the guys who were building Netscape back in Web 1.0. They were making huge investments in Web 2.0 and Twitter and all these big tech companies. And now they're here in crypto and they're making significant investments. They were early. Again, they made investments in Coinbase and many other crypto companies. If you look at their website and their portfolio, they're obviously investing in Coinbase, Anchorage, Diem, a whole bunch. Let me just look. Near, Maker, OpenSea. They are here again and they're making money. And look at the article they put out today. $9 billion to build a future. Ben Horowitz wrote this. He said, I am excited to announce that Andreessen Horowitz has just raised a fresh $9 billion to invest in our venture growth and bio funds. We are grateful to our limited partners who believe in us and stuck with us over 12 years and hope to earn their trust again. Wow, guys. And, you know, you look at their portfolio, right? And you just see here, crypto is a big part of it, right? Bio, as I mentioned. And not all of the 9 billion will, of course, go to crypto, but some of it. So more capital flowing in. And this is what you need to look at, my friends. You know, when you see, you know, these big investments happening, and you know, you can't just look at the prices. And I know price is important. Trust me, I look at my portfolio, and if we're down, it sucks. I'm here to make money, but I understand the path to higher valuation and more higher prices. And that is the building of the on and off ramps, the infrastructure. And these hedge funds and investment firms that are putting billions into these companies that are building the infrastructure, they're going to help move things forward. That's why you have to pay attention to this news. They did it in the internet days, Web 1.0. They did it in Web 2.0. Now they're doing it in Web 3.0, guys. Very bullish news, in my opinion. Now, Dan Morehead of Pantera Capital. I interviewed Dan. I think it was back in 2020. I was trying to get an interview with him again, but he's very busy raising more capital. So Pantera adds $46 million in investments to Bitcoin feeder fund. The investment firm manages $6.4 billion in total in blockchain related assets. More billions. And this is not the same. Pantera is different from Andreessen Horowitz and you know, Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital is different from these guys. And so is Michael Arrington's fund, Arrington Capital, and then so is Anthony Scaramucci, Skybridge Capital. See where I'm going with this? You total all that money up, you pull all that money out, it's probably going to hit into the trillions pretty soon. So Pantera's Bitcoin feeder fund now has $63.7 million in funding from 153 investors, up from 18 million from the 56 backers a year ago. So more money coming in. And this is according to a new regulatory filing. So it is verified. Founded in 2019, the Bitcoin feeder fund lets investors make indirect investments in the firm's main Bitcoin fund. According to an explanatory memorandum, the Bitcoin fund is a passive tracker of Bitcoin that offers investors daily liquidity. Last September, Pantera raised $369 million for its new blockchain fund. 2 months later, the information reported that Pantera was raising $600 million for a new crypto fund to invest in venture equity, crypto tokens, and tokens in development. The report said Pantera expected the fund to reach $1 billion by the time it closes in March. Guys, and if you don't know who Dan Morehead is, you better know, guys. Go watch the interview. I'll put a link in the description. He's one of those macro investors in the same circles as Dan Tapiero, as Raoul Pal. He's not, you know, the one who's doing a lot of talking like Raoul Pal and so forth. And by no means nothing wrong with that. What I'm trying to say is he doesn't do a lot of speaking engagements and so forth. But he was one of the earliest investors out of these macro guys in crypto. He was here before Raul, he was here before Mark Yusko, and all these guys. So I'm telling you, pay attention to these names and follow them closely. Look at the capital they are raising. And for them to get that capital, they have to make a great case and to show, hey, this thing is going to get you a return on your investment. Because these people are not throwing millions and billions into funds to lose it. They want to make a return, guys. And they will, because they know this is the new disruptive technology. And they're placing their bets here. Just as if you go back 20 years or whatever it may be, you're placing your bets on Amazon and Google, and then eventually Twitter and Facebook and yada yada, right? So you got to step back and look at it macro level and think of it from a business standpoint as well. Now, check this news out. Crypto is global, a global asset class. So UK lawmakers form crypto advocacy group for Parliament, according to a report. Here's a quote. "We are at a crucial time for the sector as global policymakers are also now reviewing their approach to crypto and how it should be regulated," said the group's chairperson and MP Lisa Cameron. So globally, governments are putting together crypto frameworks and policies and regulation. I just wish the United States would move faster, because we need to stop the SEC, right? And we saw all the debacle with the infrastructure bill and what Janet Yellen tried to do, but we're moving in the right direction at least. So according to a Friday report from the Financial Times, members of Parliament, as well as members of the House of Lords in the United Kingdom, launched the Crypto and Digital Assets Group to ensure rules for the crypto industry in the UK support innovation. As of last week, the cross-party group aims to protect investors from financial crimes, including token scams or offerings from regulated companies. So this is a great sign, guys. I mean, look, I'm all for comprehensive and smart regulations where you're protecting investors, obviously, because we know scammers are going to try to come steal people's crypto and their money. I absolutely get that. But what we don't want to do is stop innovation and stifle innovation like what the SEC is currently doing under Gary Gensler. And that is the problem that we face right now. Now, the UK and Japan and Singapore and some of these other countries, they have comprehensive regulations. They don't view crypto as securities. They view them as currencies. And they're definitely ahead of the United States right now. Now, the United States, though, has the advantage because of our capitalist economy, environment, and so forth, and a lot of capital in the United States, right? As I've been sharing with you guys, billions. And a lot of that money is still on the sidelines. Yes, despite what I just told you, a lot is still on the sidelines because of regulatory uncertainty. They don't want to jump into certain coins and so forth because they're like, hey, we don't want to get in trouble. But imagine if those barriers were removed, it would be like breaking Hoover Dam and the water just coming in, right? Opening up the floodgates, so to speak. So this is what we're waiting for. And I think Congress will eventually get there. How long that takes, though, is the question, because we see Congress can't almost do anything these days, but one can only hope that they will make the move here, given that there's international competition and pressure. So guys, what do you think about this news? What do you think about Michael Arrington's comments about he is bullish, and the data I've shown you guys that look, leverage is being flushed out, and we could see a bounce upward. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, next week, but it will eventually happen. Just like how we had the summer lull and the kind of a not fun summer, we may have a not fun January, and maybe a little bit of February before we see a bounce upwards. Now, remember my interview with macro investor Raul Powell. He's thinking this thing hits a blow-off top in the middle of 2022. So maybe it's like June, right? We'll see. We just got to be patient, and you got to look macro level. I know the price isn't fun to watch right now, but look at what's happening. Look at the building. Look at the adoption from both private and public and government officials and so forth. And look at the capital being raised. My goodness. I've said it many times, man, if I was an accredited investor and I had I don't know, whatever it is, $50 million in my bank account, I would be buying the tokens, and I would be putting, investing in Dan Morehead's fund and Michael Arrington's fund, right? Positioning myself to get into certain companies, just like the ones that are in Andreessen Horowitz portfolio. So whether it be, it looks like Avalanche here, these different compound and these different companies. So, man, the future is so bright. We just got to be patient, and we got to, I'm saying this for new people. You got to train your mind not to be just the price focus, not getting up in the morning. Oh no, the price is down. Oh no, the price is. Yes, price is important. Once again, we're here to make money, right? Let's put that to the side. But rather, okay, I'm investing in this thing to make as much as possible. What's happening in the market? Who are taking the bigger bets? What are the governments doing? What are the investors doing? And that is what you have to look at the market holistically, guys. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.